How to tell if someone really loves you. The clearest sign someone loves you is that you don't have to ask them to care. It's simple. Love is when you don't have to ask, not because your voice or communication doesn't matter, but because someone is paying attention. They notice the change in your tone, they sense when something is off, they read the silence, the exhaustion, the strain you're trying to hide, and they step in. Their care is active, not performative. Real care is not passive concern, it is movement. It is someone rearranging their world because your safety and your well being suddenly matter inside it. They don't disappear after saying, "Let me know if you need anything." They are engaged, they follow through, they act, they step in, they take charge because they are affected by what affects you. They are moved by what moves you. They can't just sit in peace unless you're in peace. They don't treat your distress as something to witness from a distance. They take action to relieve you. They move everything around for you. And you don't have to beg for it. In relationships where love is real, you don't have to persuade someone to care for you. You don't have to justify why your situation matters. You don't have to translate your pain into something they'll finally take seriously. They already understand that you matter. So their instinct is not to retreat, it is to respond. They say things like, "I'm coming. I handle this. I'm not letting you do this alone. I'm working this out for us. You don't have to worry about this at all." Not because they want control, but because they feel responsible for your well being. Now that you're part of their life, they feel responsible for you. This is not control. This is not charity. This is not obligation. This is care. This is that feeling of being so deeply held that you don't have to collapse into requests just to be cared for. It's protection, it's containment, it's something steady enough, it's someone steady enough to act when you're depleted, when you're overwhelmed, when you're sick, when you're scared, when you're exhausted. Decision making itself becomes really heavy. Even asking for help takes energy you don't have. So, real care looks like, "Listen, I've got this. You don't have to think about it right now." Not as dominance, but as containment. It feels like home because your nervous system finally rests. You don't have to manage everything alone. You don't have to perform strength. You don't have to negotiate for care. You can just be. You know that you have help. And asking can be really painful. Asking for help is like begging. Care that needs negotiation is not love. If you have to translate your pain to be taken seriously, you're not being loved. You're being neglected. It's like being invisible and unworthy in your relationships, and that is painful. Explaining, asking, arguing, fighting for basic care destabilizes you. That's not nourishment. That's not safety. It feels exposing, shameful, humiliating because you have to convince someone to value you. It makes you feel like a burden, and it also makes you look weak and incapable because admitting you can't handle something is placing yourself in a position where someone could say no, or call you demanding, or call you needy. So when care comes without begging, it feels dignified. It feels like I was seen before I had to break, and that is deeply soothing. If you're still struggling in a relationship, if you're fighting, negotiating, arguing, asking, begging, just to be seen, heard, and cared for, you're not being loved. You're being quietly abandoned. Love that anticipates is the most nourishing kind of love. The most nourishing love is attentive. It attunes to you. It doesn't wait for instructions. It doesn't wait to be asked. It watches, learns, remembers, and responds to your distress. It knows how you get when you're overwhelmed, what helps when you're sick, what makes things worse, what you won't say out loud. So when something happens, they don't need a manual. They know. They know how to love. They know how to care. They know you because they are tuned to you, because they're interested in you, because they care about you. And they move accordingly, not to control you, but to reduce your burden. They don't sit around doing nothing. The truth is that when someone truly loves you, they don't need to watch you for years to learn how to care for you because love awakens this instinct of protection and care within them that makes them act in your best interest. When you love someone, they are precious to you. You begin seeing them as an extension of yourself, your own flesh and blood. You feel the kind of care humans have for their offspring. You have this nurturing instinct towards them that makes you want to protect and care for them. Love makes you move. Love makes you act in the best interest of your loved one. Love makes you do things to protect your loved one and restore stability in your loved one's life. That is the nature of love and care, not neglect. Why this feels so confusing? This is confusing because most people offer sympathy. Very few offer stability. Sympathy says, I feel bad for you. Care says, how can I make this better? I'll do everything in my power to make this better. You are not alone. Sympathy comforts the moment, and care changes the entire outcome. This is the protective instinct of love. When someone truly cares for you, your distress affects them, period. They don't relax until you're safer. They don't go back to normal while you're still struggling. Your situation becomes something they are now emotionally invested in resolving, not because they see you as helpless, but because they see you as precious. Love doesn't leave you where it found you. The deepest form of care doesn't just soothe you, it improves your conditions. It reduces your burdens, it removes obstacles, it makes your life tangibly easier. You feel supported not because of words, but because your reality changes, literally. Something gets handled, something gets arranged, something gets taken off your plate. Women are often told that they should not expect this, that it is unrealistic, demanding too much. So you shrink your needs. But expecting someone who loves you to act when you're in distress is not unreasonable. It is the baseline of a partnership. Not rescue, not dependency, shared responsibility. The hyper independence obsession in today's time makes us feel shame about depending on each other. We have forgotten we are interdependent beings who are wired to thrive in relational containment, bonding, care, and love. These are basics. This is what real relational care looks like in healthy relationships. The clearest sign of real care is that you do not have to do it alone. You don't feel alone in it. You don't feel alone while you're struggling. That's it. Even if the problem isn't solved immediately, it is being handled and you are being taken care of. You feel rooted for, you feel supported, and you feel accompanied. Someone is actively engaged with your reality, not observing it from afar, not sympathizing with you. The truth is, if someone can return comfortably to their life while you're in a crisis, they do not care about you because they do not feel responsible for you. And responsibility is what turns affection into care. Why responsibility matters? Responsibility matters a lot. Responsibility is what turns affection into love. Affection can exist at a distance. Responsibility requires closeness, requires action. It means your well being now matters in someone else's decision making process, Not ownership, not a sacrifice of self, but shared weight. The kind of care that feels like home. Home is not where someone asks you to justify your needs. Home is where somebody already understands that you matter. Where help doesn't feel like charity. It isn't reluctant. It is offered with certainty. Not, do you need anything? But I'm here. I'm doing this. It's not observation, it's participation. It's not witnessing, it is holding. The reality is that you do not want someone to override you. You want someone strong enough to step forward when you cannot. There's a difference. One erases you, and the other protects you. The deepest form of love is not being watched while you struggle, it's not being left alone in it.